Hello everyone, welcome to CyberLink Webinar. I am Steven, the instructor for today's course, and I'm so happy to see there are more than 100 people online right now to join our webinar. And the Oscar season is coming. Actually, the award ceremony is this Sunday night in the US. So which is your favorite movie this year? Is LALA Land or the Hacksaw Ridge? Or the Manchester by the Sea. And I personally like La Land a lot because one of the reasons is I like to watch the musical movies, and it's a very nice one. So if you haven't seen it in the theater, you can go see it before the award ceremony. So today, if it's not your first time joining CyberLink webinar, you probably have noticed that we're using a totally different interface to do the live casting today. In the past, we're using YouTube Live, and this time we're using another new upcoming service from CyberLink. We're going to release a webinar service and the platform in a few months. So we want to take this opportunity to test with all of you about our new service and getting feedback from you to see if you guys are happy with the quality of the broadcasting and the interface and the audio quality, etc. So the interface is very similar to what you used before when we were using YouTube to do the live stream. So at the right-hand side, you can see a chat window. At the right-hand side, you can see a chat window and where you can type in some text. And if you got any questions regarding our demos or any question about your product that you used, you can ask a question there, and our engineer and our support people will help you answering the question. And be gentle because we only have two steps helping with replying an answer. And if they reply too slow, just take a little bit more time, having more patience. And if you're visiting from a mobile device, you can see there are two icons at the bottom to download the Android app or iOS app. So we do highly recommend that you use a mobile. If you're using a mobile devices to watch this webinar, you can use the application to get the best viewing experience. All right, so let's start today's course. All right, so today in the course we'll cover 4 products in our Director suite. So starting with PowerDirector, we'll show you some skills of using PowerDirector's keyframe and to create some effects like 007 effects or the LALA Land effects. Okay, and furthermore, in the second part of today's presentation, we'll show you how to control the speed of your video, like those in the sports in the action movies. There are usually a lot of fast motion or slow motion effects to highlight the shot. So we'll show you how to control the speed of your video in the second part. And the third part will show you some skill about color grading using PowerDirector and our color grading software, ColorDirector, to adjust the color of your video to bring some cinematic look to your video. And in the fourth part, finally, we're demonstrating AudioDirector. I know a lot of you have been asking about the demonstration of AudioDirector, but in the past, because we were using YouTube live stream, which doesn't allow us to play the sound from my computer system. And in that case, we cannot bring you the best demo quality for audio. So we didn't demo any audio before in our previous webinars. But right now, our new webinar service will be able to project the sound from the computer system, so which means you can hear what I hear on my computer. So it's a good chance for us to use this new service to do the demo for our AudioDirector. And the last part for today's presentation will show you how to create a movie poster using our PhotoDirector and PhotoDirector mobile app to create your own movie poster. Right, so let's start today's course. First part will show you what is keyframe in PowerDirector. So keyframe is a very important concept inside of the video editing software, and it controls the status of the attributions in different times. So for example, the position is one status in video editing. So at second 0, we are having the soccer position at the left of the video, and in second number 5, we are putting the soccer at the right side of the video So in this case, PowerDirector will help adding the in-between frames between 0 to 5 seconds to control the sucker rolling from left to right. Okay, so this is the basic idea for keyframe. And what can I control? What can I control in PowerDirector with keyframe? So in PowerDirector, we can use keyframe to control PIP objects and titles about the position, the scale, the opacity, etc. So you can move the titles or move the PIPs around with a PIP control and having it change the size along with time. And furthermore, you can control effects and the fixed enhancement, the strength of effects and fixed enhancement. So for example, if you want a video to blur at the beginning, but after 5 seconds, it gradually turns clear, then you can set, you can apply a blur effect on the video clip and set the keyframe, the strength from 10 to 0 in second number 0 or second number 5. So the PowerDirector will bring you a gradually unblur effect on your video. And you can also control the particle effects with our keyframes. Okay, so let's take a look at this demonstration video. Okay, so we want to create an opening sequence for 007 movie. Alright, so you see the beginning of the video that the gun barrel is at the left side, and it moved to the right side, then center and enlarge on 007. And then the second shot we are having after 007 had a gunshot, then we are having blood floating from above. So here we'll use two things. The first thing is control the gun barrel movement. We'll use keyframe. And for the second thing, the blood, we will use a PIP Designer's chroma key plus the new blending mode in PowerDirector to do that. Okay, so let's take a look at the PowerDirector's interface. So I don't know how many of you are first time using PowerDirector. So if this is your first time, I'll spend some time to introduce the interface for PowerDirector. So in PowerDirector, you can see the top left part. Here is our media library. So you have all your movies, audios, or photos all placed in here. And you can also find things like the effects, PIP, and particle and text at the left side and the transitions. Okay, and the right side is a preview window. So preview window allows you to preview two things. The first thing is the status of a timeline of the media library object. And the second thing is the status of what you're editing on timeline. So you can both preview in the preview window. And the bottom side here is what we call the timeline interface. So you can see here's the number for the timeline from 1 to 5, blah, blah, blah. And the timeline concept for PowerDirector is the larger the timeline track, it will cover the smaller the timeline track number. So for example, the object on track number 5 will be overlapping and covering the track number 3, number 2s. And this is the vertical axis. It's the layer, the timeline track. And for the horizontal axis, it's the time span. So it's starting from 0 seconds to, for example, here's 5 seconds. So here are 4 digits of number. The first one is hour, second one is minutes, third one is second, and the fourth one is frames. So for example, if you're having 30 frames per second, means in 1 second there are 30 still pictures. So it's very easy to understand what the timeline means. And PowerDirector provides up to 100 check of timeline, so you can overlay like PIPs or stickers, etc. With this multi-layer timeline. All right, so let's start with PowerDirector's demo. So the first thing I want to put this photo of James Bond. I drag it and drop it to timeline track number 2, and I want this video longer, so say 10 seconds. Then at the background, I want to have blue background. So I go to the media content and select color boards. Then here I choose this blue background and drag it on timeline track number 1 and move the right side to make it longer, in line with James Bond. But right now we find a problem. You can see there are some white areas on this James Bond photo that I want to make it transparent. So today we'll show you two different ways to get rid of to make your photos in the video transparent. So the first way, you can select this photo, then go to fix and enhance menu. Then if you got PhotoDirector installed on your PC, for example, if you're a Director Suite user, and you can see this PhotoDirector icon, then click on it. PowerDirector will pass this photo to PhotoDirector to do editing. So in PhotoDirector's editing module, there's one thing called the background removal. So when selecting the background removal, you'll see your mouse become a brush, selection brush on the photo that you can click or brush to select the white part. This is what you want to remove in your photo. Okay. And you can use mouse scroll control, like scroll down, you can have a smaller size of brush, so I can brush this side. All right, and once done, I can click remove the selected area. Then you can see the white part has gone. But right now I'm seeing some unclean part at the edge of James Bond that I want to get rid of. So you can use this fine tune the edge tool. Select this brush and then brush on the edge. Okay, then you can now see the white part has gone. Then we got a more precise selection on James Bond's photo. All right, and if it's all finished, you can now click back to send this photo back to PowerDirector. So you see right now, this object on timeline track 2 has been replaced with a PNG file with transparency that the white part has gone. Then the next step, I'll resize James Bond and have it centered in my video. All right, and after adding this, I'll go to next step to put the gun barrel on track number 3. Make it larger. Okay, make it longer. Then next, I want to first removing this white part in the photo. So this is the second way. That if the color is very simple, like gray, black, and white, then you can double click to enter the PIP designer room. Then you can find here the chroma key tool. Use this drop tool to select the white part, so you are getting rid of the white part. You can play with this saturation and luminance a little bit to make the selection more precise. Okay, and because our video starting, the gun barrel starting from the left, so I'll move this gun barrel to the left, and I want to make the size larger. All right, so this is the starting point of the gun barrel photo. Okay, so now that you see here is another timeline, and with some parameters like position, scale, opacity here. So I move to the beginning of the video. At the beginning, I want the position set at the left, and I want the size be the original size. So I set the first set of keyframe of position and scale. Now moving to second number 2. Okay, then I move the gun barrel to the right. So because we change the position, so you can see a position keyframe has been added here automatically. So you can drag back, you can see how it changes through time. It moves from left to right. All right, then we want the gun barrel move back very fast, centered on James Bond, and size larger, like this. So we change the size and position, so you can see 2 sets of keyframe has been added, and the video look like this. Move from right side to the center and become larger. So now see what's the end result. Okay, so this is what we want. So we can click OK to bring this PIP back to timeline with this keyframe control. All right, and the third step, I want to add the gunshot when it's centered. So I got this gunshot sequence here. So I can move it and drop it on the timeline. Okay, and because this is green screen footage I downloaded, so the first thing I want to do is to get rid of the green part. So I can double click to enter the PIP room, and the same using the chroma key tool to select the green part. So you can see the green part has become transparent. Okay, and I can adjust a little bit the saturation and the edge and the luminance to make the edge softer. Okay, then next I can adjust the size, then put it to right place and click OK. Then you got the footage like this. All right, and once it's done, we are doing the last step. We are adding this bleeding effect. So I got another another green screen footage. It's like this plot. So I can drag it and drop it onto the timeline here. Then the next step, I'm using the chroma key to get rid of this green part. So it looks like this. Okay, once it's done, I'll click and send it back. And I want this blob to be half transparent. So there's one new feature in PowerDirector is called the blending mode, that you can set the blending mode of this footage. So you can select the clip and right click on it and set clip attributes. You can find set blending mode. So for example, I set multiply. Then you'll find the blood has been added like this. Okay, so let's take a look at the final result. You'll get the footage like this. And once it's done, then you are ready to export your video with this pretty cool effects. All right, so that's the demonstration for using keyframe to create the 007 opening sequence with PowerDirector. All right, and here comes the next part of our demo. That I don't know how many of you are watching the BBC series Sherlock. The Sherlock is performed by Benedict Cumberbatch. Okay, and it's a very interesting drama series. And the Sherlock inside of this series is very busy. He's usually texting, so there are a lot of texting effects inside of the show to show that how he talked to Dr. Watson with text message. So here with some examples of text message we want to do in PowerDirector. So the first one, I want this text to follow the movement of the phone. And the second one, I want to create something like this pop-up effect of for the text bubble with a text on it. So the first demo we'll use PowerDirector's motion tracking to create this kind of following animation. Okay, so entering PowerDirector's interface. All right, so first I got this footage. And I can put it on my timeline here. Then I find where the phone comes out, for example here. Then because I want the text to move with the phone movement, so we are using the motion tracker inside of PowerDirector. You can find it under Tools and Motion Tracker. And after entering the motion tracker, you'll find this tracking window. Then you can move it around, like move here, adjust the size a little bit. Okay, then click on Track. So you can see the tracker is right now following the movement of the phone. And once it's complete, you can move on the tracker. So if you want to add some text, you can click on this text icon to say Baker Street now. Okay, and I can move it up a little bit and change the font, make it bold, italic, and with border. Okay, so now see how it look like. So you can see this text is right now following the movement of the phone. Seems like Sherlock is reading some text message. And once it's done, it will be bring back to the timeline with this text object on the timeline following the main footage. So this is the first example of text message with using our motion tracker. All right, then here comes the next example. We want to create a text bubble like this. So we're actually using the PIP effect that we have the text bubble starting from size 0 and to size larger and bounce back. So you will create a pop-up effect like this text is popping up. Then we will add some type on text on this text bubble. So let's create it with PowerDirector. So first of all, we got a text bubble. For example, I got this text bubble here. I put it on track number 1, and I can make it smaller, like the size is here. All right, and the next step, I want to control the animation effect, like it's popping in. So I can double click and enter the PIP designer room. All right, so we are using the keyframes to control the movement. So we want the text to starting from 0 size and become larger. So at the beginning, we set a keyframe and say second number here. We set another keyframe and set it here, another keyframe. Okay, so at the beginning, the size is 0. So we move to the first keyframe to change the scale to 0. Then you see it's popping up with time. Okay, and we want to create a bounce back effect. So in this center keyframe, I want to make it a little larger. Okay, so it will show something like this, larger, then bounce back. So let's quickly replay it. Okay, and I think this comes in a little bit slow, so I can move this keyframe earlier to here, and then move it here. So the keyframe will look faster. All right, and once it's done, you can click OK to send it to timeline. Then next, we want to add some text on it. So we go to the title room and create a new title. So I type on who are you and click OK and name it. Then you can see in my title room, there's this new title object. Then I can drag it and drop on my timeline, adjust the lens, then double click on it to enter the title name, title room again. So I can now change the position, resize it. Okay, and maybe adding some shadows. All right, and because I want a type on effect on this text, so I can go to the effect tab to set the starting effect, and I'll choose an effect called pop up like this. So this text will be typing on, and if you want this type on faster, you can change this dark green area shorter, and the text will be typed on faster. All right, then click OK. You'll send back this to the timeline. And lastly, I want to add a soundtrack here when it comes out. Okay, so here I have a popping in sound like this. So let's see how it looks like. All right, and you can follow the same procedure to create another set of text bubble. So you get a text object like this. So this is a very interesting example of using keyframe to control the size of PIP. So make sure you practice more time about keyframing, then you'll get familiar with it more. All right, so this is the first part for today's demo. Then here come to our second part, is to control the speed of your video. So here is an example. This is video we shoot in Taipei holiday market. So you can see when it's moving on a store, then it gets to normal speed. but when our guy is walking, that it's a faster speed. So usually in the action movie, we're using this kind of speed effect to control the highlight in the video. So in PowerDirector, we got one feature called the Action Camera Center, which we introduced this feature first in PowerDirector 14, and it's a very popular feature. So we have it in version 15 again. So using the Action Camera Center can allow you to create a time shift, which means a time duration on your video clip, and change the speed in this time shift area. So the best thing about the Action Camera Center to adjust the speed is that you can change the length of time shift anytime, and you can change the speed parameter anytime. So you don't need to split your clip in several segments to adjust the speed. So let's take a look at the demo. Right, so here, this one is the original footage we shot. So it's in one single speed, and it's look pretty boring when looking so long video. So what if I want to adjust the speed of the entire footage? So I can select it and go to Tools, select Action Camera Center. Then I will enter the Action Camera Center room. And in Action Camera Center, there are two tabs. The first tab is the Fix tab, which allows you to adjust the lens correction, stabilizer, white balance, or apply the color preset. Okay, and the second tab is the Effect tab, which allows you to create a time shift to set fast motion or slow motion or freeze frame effect. So for example, at the beginning of the video, I want it faster, so I can click on Create Time Shift. All right, and move to the part I want to stop this effect, like here. Okay, so I got this time shift created, and I can apply speed effect and make it faster. Then following the same thing, after moving away from this burger shop, I create another time shift. Then go to here and the same, apply the speed effect, make it faster. And doing the same thing, then after leaving the shop, I got here another segment, and I can make it faster and create an in, is out effect so that you want to come in and come out so sudden. Okay, so following the same procedure, we can create several time shifts on the video that you can control the length and the multiply speed. Okay, then moving to the last shot, moving on this little dog. Okay, and I'll make this longer, make it faster. All right, so now that I've added several time shifts on my video, so let's take a look what it looked like after adding this time speed control. So you can see that for the segments, we add the time, we add the speed effect, it become fast forward. While for the part we didn't apply, it comes in normal speed. So this is a technique that usually used in a lot of action movies that the director want to control your viewpoint to having you focusing only on the important part. And the next thing we can do is that we can adjust the color here in the Fix tab. So I want to bring a retro look to the video, so I can enable the color preset and select on default preset. For example, this 70s flick. Then you will turn this video in a yellow tone. And once it's okay, you can bring it back to timeline. Then you now get this shorter clip with all the speed adjustment effects on the video clip. So it's very easy to use the Action Camera Center inside of PowerDirector to control this complicated speed effect. So you can do fast motion, and the same, you can do slow motion if you turn the multiplier lower. All right, so this is the Action Camera Center in PowerDirector. Then we use it to control the speed of your video. Then moving next to our next demo, it's color grading. Okay, so if you are big movie fans, you probably noticed that there are many different colors in different movies. So for example, in a sci-fi movie, usually the color is pretty cold and pretty calm. And in a horror movie, usually it'll be darker in deeper blue. And if in a fantasy movie or children movie, because you want to show the energy of the video, so usually you'll be in warm tone like orange or in pink or in purple. And while if you want to show the anger of the people in a video, you'll turn in red tone to show the anger or the passion or the things or people in love. All right, and here is an example that what we do after we adjust the color. So the original video is pretty cold, overexposed, and we can make it in warmer tone. And this is another example. We change the video in a colder tone. So actually, there are many different ways for you to adjust the color in the video. So we'll show you the first example here. It's the effect, the color effect of LALA Land. So I don't know how many of you have seen LALA Land. It's directed by the talented young director called Damien Chazelle. And he's only 32 years old, but he's created this super awesome movie, this musical movie. And the background of this movie is in Los Angeles to tell how these two young people falling in love. And it's performed by Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone. And La La Land had won 14 nominations in this year's Oscar, which is a record-breaking movie this year, and a lot of people are highly anticipated to this movie to win several awards. So it's nominated for Best Picture, Best Director, Actor, Actress, the scores and the songs, and most of the thing you can think about is being nominated. So it's really a very nice movie. So in this movie, in La La Land, because they want to show hope and create an inspiring atmosphere and the video. So the color inside of La La Land is very colorful, very vibrant, and to show the romantic and energetic young man. So we'll show you the first example is use PowerDirector to do the color adjustment. So in PowerDirector, actually you can find a lot of color adjustment tools, like for example, white balance or color temperature. White balance in color temperature, or like exposure, brightness, and contrast, and saturations, etc. So in the first example, we want to do the color grading on this video. The original video looked a little bit pale and overexposed and too cold, so we want to change it to a warmer color tone, and then we want to do further adjustment to enhance the dark part and enhance the vibrancy of the video. Okay, so we'll use PowerDirector to do the first demo. All right, so this is our original footage that we can now bring it to PowerDirector's timeline. And to adjust the color of the footage, you can select on this clip and go to Fix and Enhance, where you can find things like video enhancement or color adjustment here. So the first thing I want to do is adjust the color temperature. I want to make the entire video warmer, so I can turn the temperature to the yellow part, and bring down the tint a little bit to bring back a little green tone. And next, we'll go to the color adjustment panel to do further adjustment. So the first thing we will adjust is because it's a little bit overexposed on the top part, so we can make the brightness lower a little bit, okay, and make the contrast slightly higher. And next, we want to bring more make the video more saturated. So we go to saturation, we turn it up. However, we find some problem. You can see the skin part. There are some, they have become too red. So in that case, I'll use another thing to adjust that. It's the vibrancy. So vibrancy, usually it's another way to increase the saturation, but it's protecting mostly of the skin part. So it's mainly increasing the green and blue part while not making the yellow, the red part increase that much. So I can turn the vibrancy up a little bit. So you can see the saturation has went up while the skin part is looks pretty natural. And next, I'll go to the shadow part to increase the shadow a little bit to make the darker part darker. All right, so now that I got this clip adjusted, so let's take a look. This is the original footage, and after applying the color effect, look like this. So it's looking very different when using PowerDirector to do color adjustment. And what if I want to make a further adjustment? Then we can use another way to adjust the video color. So here's a second example. We use the Hacksaw Ridge. It's a war movie directed by Mel Gibson, and it's performed by Andrew Garfield, and it's also won 6 nominations in this year's Oscar. And because it's a war movie, so the tone of the video is very cold, and to show the war is very cruel. So we want to make the video from this to this, that we need to do several adjustments. So first we use split toning to to make the highlight and shadow part of the video in 2 different color tones. Then next we can apply some HDR effects, bring more details in the video. And lastly, we want to use the gradient mask to adjust this overexposure part at the top of the video. All right, so now let's go back to PowerDirector. So you can see here we got this footage, the original footage. So to use ColorDirector to do color grading, you can select on this clip, go to Fix and Enhance, and find ColorDirector. Then PowerDirector will bring this footage to ColorDirector interface. So you can see it's a more complicated interface that you can have more control of your video. So the first thing we want to do is to apply a split toning effect on the video. So you can find here is split toning. So split toning got 2 different parameters. The highlight part means the bright part of the video, like the sky, the seashore, and the shadows means the dark part, like here at the hair part, and here on the girl's skin, and here at the trees. So I can assign 2 different color tones on this video. So the highlight part I want to bring a little bit blue and green somewhere here, and the shadow part I want to bring a little bit dusty look. So I go to the yellow and lower saturation. Okay, so you can see the video looks very different right now. It's look pretty cold. Okay, like this. And okay, so comparing to the original video, you can see this is the original video and this is the adjusted video. Look very different after we apply the split toning. And next, we want to add some HDR effect to highlight the details in the video. So I can move up to HDR effect and turn it up a little bit. So you now see more details on the ground and higher contrast in the video. And next, I want to add some vignette effect. So I scroll down to the vignette effect tab and bring some dark edges here. All right, and the last step, I want to heal this hair part. There are some overexposures at the edge of the hair, so I can go to this gradient mask and add a gradient mask from here and set the brightness down a little bit. Okay, so you can see right now the sky part, we bring back the brightness a little bit. Okay, so let's take a look at before and after video. This is the original one, and this one is being adjusted after we apply several color adjustment settings. And once you're okay with this, you can click on back to sending this footage back to PowerDirector. So you can see right now it's being added back. And the biggest benefit of this kind of editing, we call it round-trip editing, is that when you're editing in PowerDirector and you want to adjust the color of one clip, you don't need to launch another program to do it, to render it, then bring back to PowerDirector to edit. You can bring this footage right from PowerDirector to ColorDirector, adding the adjustment parameter and send back to PowerDirector without doing rendering. So all the rendering will be doing at the last of your production progress. When you are finishing all the editing and all the color grading, you can do the rendering at one time, which saves you a lot of time when for doing the rendering. All right, so that's for the color grading demonstration. Okay, then next, moving to our next section is audio alignment and noise repair. Okay, so as we mentioned at the beginning of the webinar that we are demonstrating AudioDirector today. And in the past, because we are mainly using YouTube to do live stream, and it doesn't allow us to play good quality sound from the computer system, so we cannot do any audio editing demos. But today we are going to do some audio demo with our new platform and using our AudioDirector software. Okay, so here the first example we'll show is redubbing the voiceover. So usually when we're shooting the video outdoors, the audio quality may not be so good. There may be some wind sound or some noises, and sometimes we'll go back to the studio to re-record the voiceover. But it's very difficult for the voiceover to match the original video. So we got this audio alignment feature which can help you align your audio. So it's looking like this.
My name is Bond, James Bond. My name is Bond, James Bond.
Okay, and the second example is when there's some noise like this ambulance sound at the background, and we want to take it away. So in AudioDirector, we got one visual repair tool can get rid of these sounds. So these are two examples. So let's go to the PowerDirector to see how it worked. So this is the first clip for the James Bond sequence. And you can see right now this clip is bonding with the audio track here. Okay, so if you want to edit the audio, you can click on the clip and go to Edit Audio, launch AudioDirector. And the same that PowerDirector is right now bringing this clip to AudioDirector without doing any rendering or exporting. Okay, so here you can see this is the original footage with audio, and we've recorded another new audio track here.
My name is Bond, James Bond.
Okay, this sounds better. So we are going to the mixing room to have this one, the audio track at track number 1, and the redub audio at track number 2. But usually, if you re-recorded this soundtrack, it may not match so well.
My name is Bond, James Bond.
Okay, so here we can do this audio alignment trick that you select these two clips on the timeline and click on this audio alignment button, then click on apply. You can see right now AudioDirector is aligning this with a new track based on the pattern of the waveform. So I can right now mute track number 1 and show only track number 2. It's audio track.
My name is Bond, James Bond.
Okay, let me play again.
My name is Bond, James Bond.
Okay, now that you have this new audio track, then you can click on back to send this edited result back to PowerDirector. So you can see right now the audio track we've created. We have the AudioDirector had helped create another new audio track aligned with the original video track here, so that it's right now a new track with a new voiceover track. Right, so this is the first example, and the second example, we want to eliminate this ambulance sound in the video. Okay, so we can the same select on this clip and edit the audio with AudioDirector. All right, so when you launch AudioDirector, you will see this is a waveform. The waveform means the volume for the volume for the audio track, but it cannot identify the frequency inside. So for example, in the video, their environment sound like wind sound is in normal sequence, but the burst trickling and the ambulance sound is very high frequency sound, and we cannot find it inside of this frequency view, waveform view. So you can switch to here to the spectral frequency view, that you can see right now it's mapping the sound to the frequency. So here are some lines which look like the sound for the ambulance. So to get rid of the ambulance sound, you can click on Restore to enter the Restore interface. Then the same, click on the spectral view, then go to Visual Repair. Okay, in Visual Repair, you will find this Magic Wand tool. Then you can select on this part. So you also notice that when I select on this main part, there are many different parts with the same pattern being selected. So this is called the harmonic sound inside of the audio track. It means, like, for example, there's one sound in the environment, and there may be some echoes from different, for example, from your ceiling or from the wall. So which make the very similar sound, but a slightly different frequency. So the harmonic finder will help you finding all this sound with the same audio pattern. Then you can click on Shift to select this second part of the video. So right now you're selecting the whole area. So let's hear if this one is the ambulance sound. You can click on Preview Selected Area. Okay, it sounds like the ambulance sound. Okay, so let's hear after remove that how it sounds like. So here's a restored result. You can preview it. Okay, and I'll let you hear the original sound again. And this is the restored sound. So you can still hear the birds twinkling and people speaking, but the ambulance sound is gone. And once it's done, you can click on Apply, then go back to PowerDirector. Then you'll see the same another new soundtrack has been added together with the video track here. Okay, so these are the two ways to edit and restore your audio with AudioDirector. So we'll try to cover more AudioDirector in the future in our future webinars, because right now we are using our new service and we can record or we can play the audio from our computer systems. All right, so that's for the demo for AudioDirector, and here comes our last part for today's demo, is to create a movie poster with PhotoDirector. All right, so here's our original photo. It's an elephant and a dog. And we want to make the color warmer by adjusting the color temperature. And furthermore, we want to add something like the lilac effect and adding some text and frame onto the photo. So how to do this with PhotoDirector? So here is the PhotoDirector's interface. So the first thing we want to do, the original photo is in the horizontal composition. I want to crop it to the portrait composition. So I can go to this crop and straighten tool and select the area I want to crop. For example, 5 by 7. I can move it here. Okay, and once it's done, I can click done. Then next, I want to adjust the color for this photo. So I want to make it look warmer. I want to show more detail on the photo. Okay, and I want to use the curve tool to bring the brighter part a little bit up and the darker part a little bit low. All right, this is the first step of adjustment. And then moving to the next step, I want to add a regional blur effect, like at the top and the bottom, it's blurred, while at the center it's clear. So I can go to the edit panel where we have this blur tool. And blur tool allows you to create different blur mask. Like this one is the radial blur mask, or this is a linear blur mask. So I can move it up a little bit and move the center down, and I can turn on the blur degree larger. So you can see right now the upper and lower part is blurred while the center is very clear. And then I can save this photo, or I can go back, which will auto save you a virtual copy. So the virtual copy for photo inside of PhotoDirector means it's an edited copy, but we didn't change original one it returns some adjustment parameters and editing result on the photo, but you can still always keep your original photo on your library. Okay, so after this, I want to add some overlay effects. So I will go to the overlay panel and select overlay effect you like this one. I can turn it down a little bit. Okay, once it's done, we want to move to next step to adding some text or more texture on the photo. So I can go to layer tool. So you can see right now the layer tool is bringing this background photo together with this overlay layer all to the layer panel. Then next step, I want to add this paper texture on the photo as well. So I can drag it and drop it. So you can see right now it's moving to the topper layer. And I can use this selection tool to adjust the size of this canvas a little bit. All right. Then next I can set blending mode. So I'll use the multiply here and make it like this. I'll make the opacity higher. So right now you got this image. And the next step, I want to add a photo frame to the photo. So I can go to this shape tool. And I right now select the rectangle. I'll drop the outline first. And because I want the center part hollow, so I can use this subtract and dragging on the center. So right now you're having these photo frames on your photo. I can set the opacity lower. All right, and after this, I want to type some text on my photo. So I go to the text menu to type here, and I can select the font size. Okay, and move it upper. And you can further do things like change the font face. Okay, like this one. And after adding the font, I want to add another decoration line underneath the text. So I go back to the shape tool to draw a rectangle here. And then I want to add the release date of this movie. So I go back to the text panel again. So it's March 2017, and same, I can make it larger. Okay, and lastly, we want to add the credit of the production team. So here I got some text. I can put it at the bottom, adjust the size and the position. Okay, so right now you've created a movie poster like this. All right, and most of the movie don't have only one poster. Maybe there are several different photos, but with the same design style. So one of the good things about PhotoDirector is that we got this multi-layer object here, and we can save this object as a template. It's called Express Template inside of PhotoDirector. So I can click on Save To, save as an Express Template. Then I can name it, giving some tag, and I can decide whether I want to share on Director Zone or not. And click on Next. Then you will save this template to your library. And if you want to apply the effect on another photo, say for example this one, I want to apply the same photo frames. Then I can find in the Layer Manager, add a new layer, add the Express Template. So you can find here is the poster I just created, this one. So you can see these frames and everything has been added to the photos with one simple click. So it's very easy to use the layer to create this kind of template and save it in your computer, and you can apply it on other photos for later use. All right, so this is for PhotoDirector. And next, we'll show you how to use our mobile app to create a movie poster. All right, so this is PhotoDirector's interface. We are now using the PhotoDirector mobile app to do the demo. So once after you launch PhotoDirector, you'll see 4 tabs, including editing or camera, or you can create collage, or you can watch more tutorials. So we now go to edit. The edit panel will ask you to select a photo to edit. So I'll select this same photo of the car. All right, so the first thing I want to do is that I want to create a sci-fi movie look poster. So I want to add some star on the sky part. So we got this feature called Blender, which allows you to select a picture to overlay and blending on the photo. So I select this starry sky and move it to here. And then I use the pen brush because I want to remove this part on the glasses of the car and on the road. So I use the brush, the eraser tool, to erase the part. I don't want to keep the effect, and only having the effect at the sky part. All right, once done, you can click OK. So this is the original photo, and this is after adding the starry sky. And next, I want to add some lens flare to the photo. So you can go to the overlay panel and select light leak and lens flare. So I'll add the light leak first. So I like this one. Click OK. Then I want to add the lens flare. I select the lens flare and put it here. It looks like something is exploding in the front, and this car is going to investigate that. Once it's done, select OK. Then next, I want to add some text on the photo. So I go to the text bubble, the text tool. Select text. First, I'll enlarge this and type on it. Okay, and type the text you want. So for example, X files. And I can change the font face. Okay, and make it slightly larger. All right, and lastly, I want to add some decoration on this text. So I'm going back to the overlay again and go to lens flare. I'll choose this one. Put it at the center. It looks like a dash, a hyphen right now, and click on OK. So you can see this is the original photo, and after editing, it looked like this. Pretty cool, right? So once you're satisfied with the result, you can save it and share it on your Facebook or on your Instagram. All right, so that's for today's presentation. So we've demonstrated in our last demo for PhotoDirector, you can use PhotoDirector to create different movie posters like this. Okay, so that's for today's presentation. And if you love our photo editing app, make sure you download it from Play Store and the iOS Store. This presentation is brought to you by CyberLink Learning Center. So if you're interested in more learning content from us, you can visit CyberLink Learning Center to see more tutorials or the recording for our previous webinar courses. Okay, soon again, our next webinar will be at the end of April. And make sure you subscribe our YouTube channel and Facebook fan page, and also check our emails once in a while that we are sending out this webinar informations from our newsletter. Or make sure you don't turn off our notification of our mobile apps, so that you'll also be able to get the latest information from us. Okay, thank you very much for today's joining, and my name is Steven, and I wish you enjoy today's course. So I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.